Hey, on example 1, I pressed pause too quick. Don't forget to label your graph. So this would be test scores. Now if we take a look at example 2, now we're going to make a bar graph. You know to make a bar graph when your data is categorical. And notice I want to go up to 35. So if I take 35 divided by 10, I get 3.5. And so I'll round that up and I'll count by fives. So now it's almost the same thing as we did with the dot plot, except we're going to use bars. And like I said, I'm going to count by 5. So here's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Almost ran out of room. 35 is going to go on the top here. Now we got these categories. A bar graph, you're going to have categories, and you're going to separate them. Okay, so I'm going to have country, hip hop, metal, yeah, and rock. And then country is going to be at 13. So we make a bar graph. Hopefully it's going to be even. Didn't make that very well. Hip hop is going to be at 35. And I do want my bars to be even. Metal is at 20. And rock is going to be at 32. So we kind of estimate where 32 is going to be there. Whoa! Now this one I want to make sure I label. So this would be our music on the x-axis. Frequency is going to be on the side. And then we'll label this as favorite music. And that's your bar graph. Now, it don't have to have numbers or the pure numbers on the side. I could have relative frequency. So what I would do is I would number my side if I was going to, I'm not going to remake another one, but here's what I would do. I would have 1 as the top of my graph. And then I would take and change all of my frequencies to relative frequency. So I'd add them up. So I got 13 plus 35 plus 20 plus 32. And oh, how nice that is. That adds up to 100. So in other words, I would have country would be 0.13, hip hop would be 0.35, and so on. And then you can get them in. Now, when we look at our next question, notice we don't have categorical data. We have numbers for one of our groups. So it's kind of like our dot plot. This is where you're going to make a histogram. That's the biggest difference. Okay, bar graph has categorical data. Histograms don't. They have quantitative data, is what we'll say. Okay, they have numbers. Whoops, did it again. Let's try that. Okay. Okay, now, so on this one, I'm going to kind of make what I did before. I'm going to make my number line. And notice my ages are kind of grouped for me, so I'm going to go 16 to 25. And then I'll go 26 to 35, 36 to 45, 46 to 55, and 56 to 65. And I look at this one, and my biggest number is 12, so I only need to go up to 12. Maybe I'll go up to 15 or something like that. I don't like that. I want a straight line. Let's go back here. Okay, since I'm only going up to 12, I think I'll count by twos. Notice I went to 14 because there was like a little bit of a margin. Now 16 to 65 is going to be 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my bar, I'm going to make my bar graph to 6 there. Then 26 to 35 is going to be at 4. So I'll go across here to 4. Notice how they touch because where one stops, the other begins. 36 to 45 is going to be up here at 9. 46 to 55, I'm going to go up to 12. And then 56 to 65, I'm going to be at 8. Kind of ran into my chart there. Okay, make sure you label your axis. So ages is your independent variable. Frequency is your dependent variable. And we're looking at volunteers at volunteers at an animal shelter. When you're doing this, if I don't leave enough room on your paper, put your work on your own paper.